So I saw Community, Season 5, Episode 12, Basic Story. Hi everyone, I'm Brandon Prosek and this is the Soy Sauce Show. Tonight I'll be reviewing, or is it today? Tonight. Tonight? Well, I'm filming this tonight, but will you be watching it today or tonight? Guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, this episode I'll be reviewing the part 1 of the 2-part finale of Season 5 of Community. So yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the goods, let's talk about the bads. First off with the... cut off by the fridge. So let's dive right into it. Let's talk about the goods, let's talk about the bads. First off with the bads. As I was saying, you know, with this being part 1 of a 2-part finale and them not airing them right together, this whole episode, you know, felt like they were kind of building, and then it was done. You know, we had absolutely no resolution, we were left on kind of a cliffhanger. And it kind of felt like a lot of the stuff in the beginning was a little bit of filler. One of the stories was about how Abed felt that there was no stories anymore with the group, and you know, I was waiting. It was kind of funny sometimes the way Danny Booty, you know, was kind of portraying like the whole like, you know, there's no story, there's stories. I mean, there's story. No, is it a story because there's no story? You know, he's tweaking a little bit, and you know that was kind of getting funny. But then it just kind of ended because they jumped into this whole buried treasure thing. And is that whole no story going to come back, or was that just filling in, supposed to be fill humor until we got to the real arc of this story? I'm not sure. One thing to note, if you're ever hanging a poster for something, don't use this blue painter's tape. It f***ing sucks. This is like an anti-advertisement I get. I don't know. I had to use goddamn half a roll just to get this to stick for 20 minutes while I filmed this thing. One of the other bad things was towards the end of the episode, they had this whole Jeff and Britta thing. Out of nowhere, they talked about getting married, and then they were just gonna bang, right? And they were just gonna f*** right on the table. And luckily they came in and interrupted, and that was the end of the episode. But it was just kind of like, what? We have not alluded that Jeff and Britta should get back together at all. Like, I know they've done a bunch of mix-matchy things with the characters. You know, you've had the whole Jeff-Britta thing, Jeff-Annie thing, Annie liking Troy, and then Troy liking Britta, Britta liking Troy back. There's been a lot of, you know, intermingling between these characters. I understand that. But it just felt out of nowhere. I can understand if they've been building throughout the season that Jeff and Britta might get back together, but this was literally out of left field. It's like the writer was literally writing this in left field. You see what I mean? This take doesn't f***ing stick. But hey, this wasn't the worst episode in the world. Let's jump onto the side of thing that had some goods of the episode. I was just talking about the whole Jeff Britta scene. I liked how before they got into the whole craziness about the marriage, they were kind of having a nod to the pilot, where if you really think about it, this all started because Jeff wanted to bang Britta. And it's kind of weird to think about that, you know, that was 5 years ago, and just thinking about, you know, all the f***ing shenanigans that these group have been on, all because Jeff wanted to get in Britta's pants. A lot of jokes I loved. I did love how they kind of poked fun at the whole Troy-Britta relationship that the Season 4 creators tried to do throughout Season 4. You see that? You see that? You see that? Where, you know, Jeff was walking and he was like, that was more boring than when Britta was dating Troy. It was just, you know, it wasn't a hilarious, elaborate joke, but it was just nice to, you know, besides the whole gas leak thing, the fact that they're just like, you know what, that whole romantic thing is kind of dumb. And probably one of my favorite jokes of the episode is the whole thing about the vending machines, where the insurance appraiser is trying to shake the vending machine because he says around 6 deaths happen a year from vending machines being falling on people. I looked it up and I've seen that somewhere else. That's a real stat. Around, I think, 4 or 5 people a year die from vending machines falling on them. Am I the only one just thinking about people walking up to vending machines and be like, you monster? More people die from that than shark attacks. So, you know, be careful about those vending machines. They're running wild. So I think even though this episode itself was kind of bad because it was just one big setup, I'm looking forward to next week because I'm looking forward to the payoff. I'm looking forward to where this is all leading to. Looking forward to how the season's going to end. But yeah, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you think it was sort of like the title, very basic? I think Community actually does. They have pretty interesting titles because they all sound like classes that you could take that has to do with the plot of the episode. But this one was just called Basic Story. Or was the idea that the title was supposed to be basic because the episode was basic? If you'd like to check me out on Twitter, my Twitter's right there. If you could also click the button right below and subscribe, that way you could check out some of my other film reviews, my TV reviews, WWE reviews, maybe my stand-up, sketch comedy, whatever you'd like to check out, an entertainment buffet. This past weekend I just did a review for the first episode of Game of Thrones, so if you're a fan of that, go ahead and check it out. If you saw Captain America Winter Soldier, I also did a review for that. Go ahead and check that out too. I love that. And so yeah, we'll see. We got one more week left of Community before we have to take another break. Alright, thanks guys for watching. I'm Brandon Prosek, and now you saw the So I Saw show.